how to get accepted into physical therapy school in 2023. What's up, everyone? I'm Janine. I'm a physical therapist and I help future physical therapists get accepted into physical therapy school. So, today I'm going to be talking about the entire process of what steps you need to do in order to get accepted into physical therapy school. So I will point out that I do have an entire course on this where I get into depth about every single possible detail that you can do, the actions that you can take, the things that people don't tell you on how to get accepted into physical therapy school. So this covers everything from how to get straight A's, how to make connections with your professors, how to get letters of recommendation, building your extracurricular, your resume, so how to get involved in different things like research or what exactly you should be getting involved in to help boost your chances and stand out from the crowd. I go over observation hours, I go over the GRE, the interview, and also just give some overall tips on confidence and how to stay in a positive mindset. And so today I'm going to be kind of talking about my biggest tips on the steps that you need to take in order to get accepted into physical therapy school today. What my first point is going to be, it all starts with your grades. So this is a foundation. This is the foundation of your application, your GPA, everything like that. But what I will point out is that, when I was a student, I kind of learned quickly that my advisors, they didn't really do much for me, and I kind of, if I was letting them pick my schedule for me, it kind of was setting me up for failure. So like, for example, my first semester of school ever, they put me in like physics, in calculus, in chemistry, in psychology, all these really hard classes. And it was just like, it was so possible to actually do well in all of these. But what I will say is that if you look at your overall, what prerequisites you need for PT school and also what is required for your major, you can kind of, what I would suggest is reflect on your type of, what classes that you think you might come more easily to you versus which ones might be harder for you. And then you want to mix up your schedule so that you're not taking all hard classes and you're not taking all easy classes. You want to take a couple of hard classes for you and then sprinkle in some easy ones that are going to act as a buffer where you don't have to spend as much time, but you can still do well in them. And that way it kind of frees you up some more time and energy so that you can focus on those harder ones and do actually better on them, and in turn your GPA is going to start improving. But I will also say you want to start to learn how to become an effective studier. So this is something that I go into depth about in my course, is how to become a true effective studier. So this is going to save you time and energy, but still do just as well, if not even better, on your test and in each class. And so by this, it's like you want to make sure you're understanding the concepts and the information and not just wasting your time looking through PowerPoints and flashcards passively. And so you want to make sure you're sitting down and having really effective study sessions. So whether that be like, okay, you think that, all right, maybe at 10 o'clock at night, you're going to sit down and study for 2 hours, but you've already had an entire day and you're exhausted. So that 2 hours, you might not even retain anything. So you just wasted your time. But you can actually just go to sleep instead early, get a great night's sleep, wake up refreshed in the morning and get 2 hours of studying in the morning and done. But you're functioning at almost 100% of your capability, so you're actually obtaining information. So little things like that, and if you're interested in more information about that, I have an entire long video on that in my course, and I can also so go into depth a little bit more. If you want to see more about that, please leave me a comment. I would love to hear your feedback. And so improving your grades. My second topic is making connections and relationships with your professors. So this is so important because one thing kind of will start to snowball off of each other, off of another, whatever the phrase is. Because if you're making connections with your professors, you're not only going to do better in the class, but you're also going to possibly be exposed to more opportunities. So they might ask you to get involved in something or recommend you for an honors class, or, write you a letter of recommendation. Any opportunity, and it doesn't matter if it's not even a core class. Go to your professor's office hours, ask them questions. Even if you don't have questions, make up questions to ask them so that they see that you are taking initiative and that you actually genuinely care about their class. And that is going to go all the extra way. It's so easy. Just take an extra 5-10 minutes out of your day, go once a week and go to a professor's office hours. Start doing that and see how much things start to change for you. My third topic is extracurriculars. So I've talked about this in my previous videos, and if you follow me on TikTok, also I post great little snippets on TikTok, so please make sure you follow me. I'm going to put the link to my TikTok below in the video description. But extracurriculars, so by this I mean things like getting involved in research, becoming a tutor, being a TA for a class, going to clubs, getting involved in sports, music, literally anything. Everything, I would say a mix of things that are important to physical therapy. So that might be something anatomy based, or something in, maybe you're an aide at a PT clinic, or you volunteer. I know that you can volunteer, I don't know, at a vet home or something like that. Something that's going to directly correlate to the physical therapy world. But you also want to add in some things that are unique to you, and hobbies, things that you like and enjoy doing that are different and special. So maybe you love backpacking, so you join the backpacking club. Or maybe you love music and you play the trumpet and you join the school orchestra. Or maybe you, I don't know, start doing some reflecting on yourself and think about what are those things that maybe make you unique and special, because that is definitely, in my experience in applying to PT school, those things have definitely helped me stand out from other applicants, and I guarantee you that they are still equally as important. Okay, my fourth thing is observation hours. So you want to make sure you get a mix of different settings, right? So we have the inpatient world, we have the outpatient world, but that's just a surface. So inpatient, you have hospital settings, so you have the acute, where people are sent when they directly have an injury or something, they're sent to the hospital. But then let's say that they aren't safe to go home yet, so then the hospital sends them to the rehab department. That's considered subacute rehab. Or you can observe in a skilled nursing facility, or a children's hospital, somewhere like that. You can also do your observation hours in the outpatient world, so that could look like a just standard clinic, or you work I did observation hours in a public school and I followed around the physical therapist there. And so what I want to point about this is, don't just wait for these things to come to you. Be that little fly on the freaking line of the phone that is not leaving that company alone until they let you volunteer. That was me at a hospital. Don't be discouraged. Show up, write down a list of physical therapy outpatient clinics in the area, and then drive to them. Show up in person and say, I would love to observe you for a couple hours. I'm applying to physical therapy school. Please let me know if that would be okay. go in person rather than calling them, because things get lost in translation. If you want things to actually happen and happen quickly, you gotta take the action and show up there. I know that sometimes that's not possible, so then call them. Don't stop calling them until you get what you want. Obviously, to an extent, but that is something that no one told me about when I was applying to PT school, that I wish that I would have had someone give me some direction on that. Okay, the next thing that is going to be in this process is your actual application and the GRE. So this is mainly going to be on PTCast, so it's pretty straightforward. You just follow everything, put in your information about your personal name, address, all that stuff about the classes you've taken, and then sometimes they ask you for supplemental information. So they might ask you a question, for example, name a challenge that you faced and how you overcame it. So then you can start to reflect. But what I will say about this process is that, and it's going to be my last tip of the day as well, is that things that you mention in your supplemental information, you want to make sure you're at least remembering that or writing it down somewhere, because these are things that you can kind of piggyback off of and snowball into the interview. So I have an entire video about the interview, or I haven't posted it yet, so it's coming. So make sure you subscribe to my channel if you want to wait for that. But I have so many important tips on how to stand out in an interview, because my first interview, I was so nervous. I think I blacked out. It was the number one school that I wanted to go to, and I get there and I find out it's a group interview. So I have to go in with one other student, and we're sitting there, ask the same questions, and we have to respond. And we both have to respond one after another. And so, if I have an idea in my head and she says something exactly pretty much the same thing I was gonna say, then I'm frozen there and now I have to think on the spot. Well, don't worry, because I also talk about this in my course. Have all the tips that will help you not have to worry about this, and you can answer any question. You can have 5 to 10 different pathways that you could take an answer based on whatever question they ask you, and feel actually confident in your answers, because you've done the groundwork at this point. You've gone through the entire process, but it's just about piecing everything together. And so that is pretty much the entire from start to finish process. It's pretty straightforward. Think about it in terms of that timeline, and just take it one day at a time, and I guarantee you can absolutely 100% get accepted into PT school. It is just a matter of believing in yourself and taking the action and the steps, and kind of just pushing forward. So please like and subscribe, like this video and subscribe to my channel, and I will look forward to seeing you in the next video. And yeah, thank you.